Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals. This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Detroit!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. First down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now back to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Johnson, and he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. It's incomplete. Landry, the intended target, and it's third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit. I'll put some points on the board on this one.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Rosen on 1st and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Frank Clark coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now Johnson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Screenplay, Johnson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. On 1st down, it's Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from the desert after this. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. The 20. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, He won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Duke Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And some room to work. Escapes the defender. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Rosen will throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, Rosen. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
The Cardinals on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Rosen to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Matt Bosher now, standing just outside his own goal line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. The intended receiver there, Allen, yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
They begin the drive with Johnson, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Watch it now, Barney. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gone.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Lucky 56.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued. Let
me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
They'll run it with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Third and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Rosen on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Second and 10. It's Rosen again. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Cardinals on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Rosen. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his man, Isaiah Crowell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. Wiggles free. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Back to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll look to throw now on first down. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for second down. They'll set up a throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. Give him 2 yards on that play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That good for 22 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They go play action here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
No, check, Patriot!
Here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, second down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
On second down, here's Rosen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball.
Right, now,
and that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Johnson on the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. Then he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run it with Johnson. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. So the Broncos coming out now. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And just shedding him off there. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And running with power here. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears. They get it done. How about that score?
The finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. So out now come the Cardinals. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. One final shot here for Rosen. Now a desperation throw deep. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Broncos, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able